Later today, you'll walk into a kitchen, you'll open a plastic wrapper or pull a handle on a fridge. Within seconds, you'll be consuming 1,000 calories. You won't think twice about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that easy meal was a physical impossibility. For our ancestors, calories were ghosts. They were hard to find and even harder to catch. For over 300,000 years, every person in your bloodline lived in a state of permanent energy deficit. They didn't have snacks, they didn't have aisles of refined sugar. Most days they had the ground, the trees, and whatever luck provided. So how did they survive without a steady supply of fuel? The answer flips everything we know about hunger, willpower, and why your body is currently betraying you. Let's talk about fat and sugar. Today, they are the villains. But a million years ago, they were the ultimate prizes. Evolution didn't design you to be thin. It designed you to not die of starvation. Every time an ancestor found a beehive or a fatty carcass, their brain didn't say stop. It screamed, more. This hardwired reward system completely restructured the human brain. Back then, if you found calories, you ate them all. Right then. Storing energy as body fat wasn't a health issue, it was a survival bank account. If you couldn't store fat, you didn't make it through the winter. Our biology became a masterpiece of efficiency. We became experts at moving miles for a single handful of berries. We were elite calorie hunters in a world that didn't want to feed us. In that world, hunger was a signal to move. Today, hunger is just a suggestion to open an app. This is a massive problem. Biologists studying the last hunter-gatherer tribes noticed something strange. They don't have our cravings. They don't struggle with binging. Why? Because their environment matches their biology. But here's the twist. Your brain thinks you're still in the savannah, even when you're in a drive-thru. Before the modern era, plenty was a season, not a default. You had maybe 3 months of abundance, then 9 months of scarcity. Your body learned to thrive on that cycle. But then, about 70 years ago, we broke the cycle forever. We invented the supermarket. By the way, if you're finding this deep dive into our biology useful, hit that subscribe button. We're decoding the human experience every week. In the mid-20th century, we did something radical. We figured out how to make sugar and vegetable oils incredibly cheap. We flooded the world with ultra-processed fuel. For the first time in 2 million years, the environment changed faster than our DNA. We didn't just add food, we removed the struggle. In 2011, neuroscientists began looking at how these new foods affect the brain. What they found was terrifying. During the day, our ancestors ate for homeostatic hunger fuel for the body, but at night, or when they found rare honey, they ate for hedonic pleasure. That second system was meant to be a rare emergency boost. Now, in the modern world, 80% of our diet triggers that emergency pleasure center. Our food isn't just fuel anymore, it's a drug. It's a high-speed hijack. We've turned every meal into a survival win that our brain rewards with dopamine. We became us by being hungry, but we are losing ourselves by being full. And it's not just about the weight. There's something else happening, something we only realized in the last few decades. You were not designed to eat 16 hours a day. In 2012, researchers started looking at time-restricted feeding. They dug into how our metabolism actually works without 24/7 access to snacks. They found something nobody expected. Our bodies have an ancient program for repair that only turns on when we stop eating. Before the industrial food complex, people didn't graze. They had long windows of fasting because, well, there was no food. The fed state and the fasted state. Before the age of cheap corn syrup, humans spent most of their time in the fasted state. They ate maybe once or twice. Their bodies didn't panic, they cleaned up. Cells went into autophagy, a process of self-cleaning. This wasn't a diet trend. This was the baseline for every human who ever lived until your grandfather's time. This was how we stayed sharp. And what happened during those long hours without food? Mental clarity. A 15th century text might describe a sharpness of spirit during lean times. Hunters reported heightened senses. The body wasn't busy digesting a 1,000 calorie burrito. It was focused on the world. The mind was quiet. The body was burning its own stored bank account of fat. They worked, thought, and lived in a state of metabolic flexibility. Doctors from the 1800s often noted that the best sauce is hunger. They knew that the period between meals was when the body did its best work. Now, we've been told for decades that we need the 3 square meals and snacks to keep the metabolism going. We couldn't imagine that our bodies actually prefer the opposite, because we can't imagine a world without a fridge in the next room. But then science confirmed what our history already knew. In a famous Salk Institute study, researchers took 2 groups of mice. Both ate the same high-fat, high-sugar diet, but one group could eat whenever they wanted. The other had to eat within an 8-hour window. Within months, the eat-anytime mice were obese and sickly. The window mice, They stayed lean and healthy, same calories, different timing. Their bodies just knew what to do as if an ancient internal clock was finally allowed to tick. When we measure insulin levels today, we see the disaster. We are constantly spiked. We never give the ancient program a chance to run. We are producing elevated levels of insulin all day, every day. It's the hormone of storage, not repair. We feel sluggish, foggy, and constantly hangry. It's not just a lack of willpower, it's a biological mismatch. So what killed our health? The answer is simpler than you'd think: convenience. In the 1950s, processed snacks became the norm. Then came the 24-hour grocery store, fast food, and high fructose corn syrup. Within 2 generations, the metabolic reality humans had known for 300,000 years was gone. We flooded our bodies with progress, and we thought we won. But here's what we lost. We are now the first species in history to die more from having too much than from having too little. We are hunters trapped in a candy shop, and our brains are still looking for that survival win in every bite. If you're ready to take back control of your biology, make sure to subscribe and check out our next video. See you in the next one.